Okay, everybody, welcome back to another short video. I wanted to talk about one of the knights of the realm. You may wonder who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this chap here. This is Lewis Hamilton, or to give him his proper title, Sir Lewis Hamilton. And Sir Lewis Hamilton was busy earlier on tweeting that I'm devastated to wake up to the death of DMX. I grew up listening to him. His words, his stories got me through some difficult times as a kid. I'm so grateful for his wisdom and light. Gone too soon, but I hope on to a more peaceful place. Rest in peace, DMX. No, then, I got to be honest with you. I haven't heard of DMX. Probably a feature of my age. I thought I'd misread it actually. Maybe he was referencing BMXs, but no, DMX. So, begs the question, who is DMX? Well, this chap is DMX. And it transpires that DMX is a pretty famous person in the rap community. And I thought I would go and investigate a little bit about DMX. Because this is a person who Lewis Hamilton feels so moved to tweet about. Sir Lewis hasn't found time to tweet any sympathies to the Queen following the loss of her husband, Prince Philip, but he did find time to express his sympathies to DMX. So I wanted to share a little bit of this is the sort of person who Lewis Hamilton in particular is so enthusiastic about. So this is a really quite interesting article, actually. His name is actually Earl Simmons. That's the guy. He's dead, obviously. He died through drug overdose, it appears. And the article does outline quite a lot of things about him. Now, he did have a tough life in some ways. Some of it of his own making, some of it not. When he decided to take his rap career, for example, more seriously, he was doing time for carjacking and extortion. Over 3 decades, he was incarcerated at least 30 times. I wonder, did Lewis Hamilton find that to be inspiring? And then it goes on to talk about he had a tough life for sure. His father abandoned the family. That's a topic we can't talk about much on this forum. Otherwise, we would get ourselves a ban. And then he had a traumatic childhood, it explains here, with beatings by his own mother and partners at the time. Sadly, this is not that unusual an experience. I mean, this is pretty shocking. One night, he erased something in his mother's notebook, and she knocked 2 of his teeth out. Pretty grim stuff for a young man growing up. But as sadly is the way, he obviously got into to bad company. He says here he opened up about his battle with drug addiction. Well, it wasn't addiction. He just liked to take lots of drugs. He spent 20 years taking drugs. Then it goes on to talk about the fact that, yes, after reaching worldwide fame, not before, after, his convictions started increasing. He's been arrested several times for animal cruelty, reckless and unlicensed driving, drug possession, identity falsification. And then, quite revealingly, he said, before I really had a life, jail was a playground. It'd be like, I'm going to jail to have fun. Jail used to be fun. I'm sure all the Liberals will be very excited about that, knowing that they've reduced jail to such a state that it's considered a place you go to have fun. And then the article goes on about his being arrested, cocaine possession, criminal impersonation, possession of a weapon, criminal mischief, menacing and driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. All this kind of stuff was going on in the guy's life. So as I say, I'm sorry that he's lost his life. Now, you know, it's sad when any person dies, and I think I'm not sure of his exact age, but he's I guess a middle-aged man. But it was self-inflicted to an overwhelming degree. Maybe as a consequence of that very difficult childhood in those formative years, an experience which I think many other young black men have sadly to go through. But as I say, we mustn't talk about that because that would be racist. But anyway, this is the individual anyway that Sir Lewis Hamilton was able to find the time to tweet about. As I say, Sir Lewis does feel that he was his music and his words and stories got Lewis through some difficult times. Is this Lewis trying to tell us that he was kind of going through similar experiences? I guess we won't know. But I thought it was interesting that Sir Lewis Hamilton could find time to tweet about the death of a rapper with drug addictions and a serial criminal past, and have nothing to say about the death of Prince Philip, given that Sir Lewis got his knighthood from Prince Philip's wife, Her Majesty the Queen. Anyway, I leave you to pass judgment on Lewis Hamilton, and we shall catch up with each other really soon. Thanks very much for listening.